Hello and welcome back to JoBra Gaming. We're back with our Let's Play of Dishonored, and we're going to finish, and we're going to speak with Samuel Beechworth, and we're going to go to these friends of ours. Yes! Hostiles killed, 0. Civilians killed, 0. Alarms rung, 0. Dead or unconscious bodies found, 2. Whatever. Overall chaos, low. Great. Didn't kill anyone. Yes. Never detected. Whatever. Fuck y'all. Coins found. God damn it. I'm missing 200 coins. Pardon me. God damn it. I'm kind of annoyed. I mean, I found more coins this time than I did previously, but still really annoying. I feel like there was that little cove part that I probably missed something. Anyway, let's continue. The Hound Pit's Pub. Hidden allies. Hidden in an old bar on the river. Your new allies have plans to share with you. Yeah. Meet with the Loyalists' inner circle to learn what they've got in mind. Yes, sir.
This is the Hound Pit's Pub. Closed for business. Half the district marked off as dead from the plague. We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing. Of course, if anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart.
But he can't tear a city apart, a part of a city that's already considered dead.
Take you up to meet Admiral
and uninhabited.
The Admiral's a man to be reckoned with. If anyone can help you find that missing girl, Lady Emily, and clear your name, he can.
Right, mate, thanks a lot. I'm just curious to explore. I really, this is wasting time. Okay, let's go back. Freedom! Freedom!
I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress.
Character is busy.
I'm sure the
He's smoking a cigarette.
Wasn't easy getting you.
Starting at last, Admiral. We found our man. Even after 6 months in Coldridge Prison, he slipped out like it was nothing.
Yes. Not surprising. He was the personal bodyguard of the Empress. You've heard the stories.
Yes, I have. It still amazes me that someone could get to the Empress and young Lady Emily.
No one knows the real story, Trevor. We all have our suspicions. We'll know the truth in time. We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here.
I wish I waited longer.
I'm Admiral Havelock, a true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pit's Pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with it. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
So, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Yes, Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested.
Did you do that?
Good to have you with us.
His beer is indestructible. That is magical stuff. Alright. Is there more gold around here somewhere? Uh-huh. And let's check around the bar. Ah, I see something shiny. Oi, thank you. Nothing. What's around here? Oh. Tyrian ore. Huh. Obviously that will open later on. Let's see what else is around here. City Watch. Anything interesting? Nope. Whoa, what was that? King Sparrow Feathers. Oh. King Sparrow Feathers. Peculiar stuff, that. What's here? Abandoned apartment key needed. Okay. This is a little weird. It's weird, I say.
What in the blazes was that?
Whoops. Just me playing around.
River traffic is forbidden from landing in the distillery district due to risk of infectious contact. Violators will be taken to the flooded district for treatment and rehabilitation.
You mean for discardation? Alright, nothing interesting in here. Let's see what's upstairs. This is part of the distillery. The barrel is in fine condition. Huh? Oh, hello, lady.
My, you must be Corvo. I am Lydia, at your service. The room is upstairs and ready. When they told me who it was, well, I thought you'd be older, like the Admiral.
Litany on the White Cliff. And I say to you, brothers, it is here that we make our stand as a righteous force against the growing darkness. It is here that we unite against the spirits of the unknown that would drag us screaming into the night, never to return to our homes, to our families. Together we will serve as a rod to those who would stray from the herd. For the foggy gray wastes of the outsider, we will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions, so that others will not lose their way. And to those who choose to wander beyond the walls of our homes, in far places we will strike at them swiftly before they whisper to their neighbors, filling their hearts with strangeness and doubt. That was my interpretation of the book.
Do not attempt to house or care for a friend or family member who shows signs
Hey,
of blood
I
on
want-
their face
I want
and
the money.
chest area.
I want the
The
money.
only way to help them is to bring them to the city
Is to
watch.
kill them
They will be taken to the flooded district for treatment.
for treatment. No, they're not to be treated, be thrown out. We drunken sailor, blah, 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 with the rusty cleaver. What? Stone him a sack and throw him over early in the morning. Okay, that's a crazy song. Oh, look at all the gold medals. And the books and the books and the books and the... Oh, what's this?
Log entry 1-4. Seems we've moved to a new phase. Martin's improvisations have borne fruit. The former bodyguard has been freed and is en route to the staging location. The Pendleton's voting block and my military connections. All we've lacked is the ability to project lethal force in a controlled manner against a previously inaccessible... to the point, we need a man who can kill the bastards for us. Corvo is more than capable of that, I have no doubt. End log. Is this off? Switch.
Attention Dunwall citizens. Advise.
It has been days since our men were dispatched to stash weapons for Corvo in the old sewer. They have not returned, so I can only hope that they succeeded in getting the packages delivered. Piero spent considerable time and resources making those things. If I could find a way to mass-produce them, the Dunwall Navy would secure its place as the dominant force on the globe. But back to Corvo. Can he actually break out of Coldridge, and if so, will he make his way here? I personally give him odds of 1 in 5.
River crust infestation has spread downriver.
A gopher's tale. Well, more than a quarter of a century, I am done with whaling. Too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the isles and made more coin than most men in its lifetime, but it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne. Fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything was beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every part of the known world and sailed in the loneliest waters they could imagine. I've seen the cliffs of around Pandysia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. My accent is so fucked up, I don't even know. These come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, and singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be speared by ugly, weather-scarred men who'd knife each other for a good pair of boots. Each year I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the Lord Regent's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Morley, gaff hand frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. Well, that's fucking depressing, ain't it? Just. Gaffer's Tale, Volume 1. My sister Nina and I left Tivia together, saying goodbye to our aunt, the woman who had raised us since childhood. Leaving behind our home city of Yarrow and the cold but beautiful white landscapes we had always known, we boarded a ship for Dunwall. Our parents had left us with a small, sizable inheritance, and we spent half of this getting to the capital city and establishing a small import shop dedicated to Tivian furs. Once I had helped Nina establish the business, I was free to pursue my dream. Signing on with a whaling ship was the most exciting thing I had ever done, and I saw it as a means to an end. Someday I would captain my own crew, and eventually own a fleet of similar vessels. With tears in her eyes, Nina kissed me farewell, and I did not see her again for many months. As an apprentice to the gaffer, I saw that I got to see the tracking and killing of the great beasts up close. Nothing ever fired up my spirit so as the wind and pounding waves, racing after a wounded whale, being pulled up by a skein of cables embedded in its thick flesh. I changed more in those first 7 months than I had in the previous 7 years. Whaling was beginning to put its mark on me, so that Nina barely recognized me when I returned. Tanned and sinewy with muscle, weather creases already wrinkling the corners of my eyes, but she could see that I was filled with joy, having found my purpose. Too bad it ends up being like shitville. What's this? Admiralty and the Fleet. While each of the islands has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long, proud history of great ships and the admirals who command them. Boys come of age in the cities of Bristol, hoping to some day captain a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. In times of war and peace, Bristol continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Sokolov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kill up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing, even as the ship returns to Dunwall. The crews can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Wrenhaven River, coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies, such as Greaves Whaling House. Suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun, the silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. Alright. Well, we got enough out of this. Too bad I can't take his medals for gold. What's over here? Oh, what's this? Oh, coins. What's over here? Oh, pouch. I like.
Pleased to meet you, Master Corvo. I saw you at court in happier days, but you might not remember. I was once a close ally to the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs, back when he was just the spy master. He's one manipulative bastard, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know that.
My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking of which... Wallace! Please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
You are a real right twat, my friend. Because you think it is so difficult to live in such meager... What's down here? Okay. Oh, what's down here? Oh. Ow, ow. Jesus Christ. Oh. Old Port District, okay. Up a daisy. Alright. So... I've explored a lot there. Maybe I should go see Pierrot.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear. All custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil is running. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. The oil's unstable. When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
They don't say. Pierrot, no, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Tivian ore. What's wrong with the metals and crystal? King Sparrow feathers. If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy everything you needed was paid for by tariff and handed out willy-nilly. But this is my bar, what's left of it, and we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the odd crap you seem to need. A second solution. By Pierrot Joplin. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula. Sold as Pierrot's remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy while spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I have studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect, elegant in fact. And while it is true that Pierrot's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit, and it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest, for you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variants in the key ingredients making up Pierrot's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Wrenhaven River. Alright, so let's take a look upstairs. Pierrot's door to nowhere. The door to nowhere has proven to be a safety hazard. But for me, this project is an endless source of inspiration. With the proper application of energies, I believe I can transform the doorframe into a window of sorts, one that will allow a traveler to cover the distance from my workshop to some distant, arbitrary point in a single step. Currently, the step leads to a sheer drop, straight down into the courtyard, but in time, it will bridge gaps that will boggle the mind. Such works is many years away, to be sure, but if I survive this plague, I am sure to succeed. Yeah, right. Nope, no goods. God damn, this guy's got a ton of books. Oh.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time, and then observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substances developed. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities, subject and the necessary legal amnesty.
To put someone under pressure. Well, he's a little crazy, but a little brilliant. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in the correct configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once. What's this? Dead counter responsibilities. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague, and the handling of the dead, including those with the late-stage plague symptoms called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test, and if accepted for the 2-week training tour, pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1.5 normal pay grade. Yeah, because you gotta count a bunch of dead people. Failed experiments. Of course I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's designs. Of course, and why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We are all a part of a community striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even though among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say it, our intellectual subordinates, Sokolov is no exception to this. Despite the glamour of his genius, he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the very chambers of the Academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your limited imagination. From a bunch of lectures. Okay, interesting. Whale vivisection. Okay, remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard the female, some 42 feet in length. I estimated she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the massive tentacles around her mouth. Ugh, this is sick. Within I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Still, they kill it while it's still wiggling around. That's just sick. Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwell, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. It's just disgusting. I swear that shit's nasty. I almost want to throw this to see if it explodes.
Perfect. Now plug it in. Just get... Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face, but this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, the fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions.
Something freaky about him.
Our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Let's have a look. So, let's see what upgrades. Bone charm capacity, grenade capacity, no. Bolt capacity. Bullet capacity, max up. Magnify your view. Pressing right. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that. And Corvo's pistol upgrade? Nah. Makes the sword more effective when locking blades. Combat sleep dart sedative effect is immediate even in combat. Yes, that is probably one of the most useful things, and I will buy a bunch of sleep darts. And let's buy some rewire tools. Yep.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can. Very well. You know best. Let me know if you need anything more.
You kind of freaked me out, Piero Joplin. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it here. It was a lot of reading, but I think some interesting things. And also, it really gives a very kind of clear outline as to what this world is like. And honestly, it reeks of despair and is just depressing. Honestly. Just bloody depressing. But yeah, that's what makes it so what's the word? Immersive. There we go. Immersive. I highly recommend that you guys buy this game, play the game. So far, it's really fun. And I can see how you can really play this at different angles. Like, I'm going the non-violent route. You can go extremely violent if you want. You can go completely, avoid even any of them and just try not to be seen at all. I mean, there's so many options and ways to go about it that I think is really, really cool. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It is much appreciated and helps us support the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.